Good girl.
These dogs may look like ordinary pets, but they're so much more.
The pet therapy dogs are not just any dog off the street.
They've been specially trained to provide comfort.
I had never really thought of using therapy dogs in a school tragedy situation.
Love.
Oh, lots of kisses.
And affection.
He likes to be petted. See how soft he is?
And these days you'll find these special creatures in places like hospitals.
Feet up, jump. Good boy, there we go.
Schools.
Tomorrow morning, I intend to visit Shore Modern College with my staff.
Even colleges.
Petting an animal releases one of the chemicals that helps trigger the relaxation response.
From basic obedience training to testing.
You are totally in control of Sophie. Sophie is being very polite.
Will take you inside the world of therapy dogs.
Different breeds require more training than other breeds.
These are dogs on the move.
Slow, Sandy.
And in demand.
This is Shiloh.
For good reason.
Dogs don't see the IV poles like humans do. They just see a person.
And don't be surprised just by watching the effect they'll have on you. These are therapy dogs, pets with a purpose. April 9th, 2014, 7:13 a.m. It was far from a typical day at Franklin Regional High School in Murraysville, Pennsylvania. A 15-year-old armed with a pair of kitchen knives went on a rampage and began stabbing students in a crowded hallway. Mary Catherine Reljak was on her way to work at the school when the attack happened.
We had a terrible tragedy and a lot of people who were injured and hurt physically and emotionally, and we had quite a bit of unrest not only in our local community but in the entire region, because these are things that everyone dreads and you pray they don't happen, and when they happen to you, it is a scary thing, and it's something that puts everyone into action quickly.
Quick action is what saved the lives of 20 wounded students and a security guard.
Our students and our staff members were amazing on that day, and not only in handling the immediate needs of our students who were injured and the students who needed to be moved and reuniting them with their families, but by about 1:00 p.m. on that day, all of the students were home or released to their parents.
A young student was in custody, but the attack left more than injured people. It left a flood of haunting memories.
Everyone was traumatized by that day, and many of our students and staff members saw and experienced things that will never really go away. But we also knew, we were guided with some professional counselors, and to be honest with you, we really did our best to just lead with our heart.
Of course, returning students received the traditional methods of counseling and support.
We created a committee of students, teachers, staff members, and administrators and counselors to work together to try and figure out how we were going to return to school.
And back into hallways once bloody and chaotic.
And there is no written script for what to do. So we were able to use local therapy dogs to help us out, and I think that was very meaningful for us.
Go get it, Josie. Come on.
Holly Russell helped coordinate teams of therapy dogs at Franklin Regional. She's a tester and observer for Therapy Dogs Incorporated.
Therapy Dogs Incorporated, they register therapy dogs by testing and evaluating them. We've gone to universities and different colleges, from elementary schools to high schools. Anywhere that we think we can help or do something productive, we're willing to try.
And Franklin Regional was willing to do just that. 5 days after the incident, dogs, all sizes and breeds, were brought into the high school to welcome back not only students, but staff as well.
The therapy dogs provided immense comfort, more so than we ever could imagine. The day that our staff returned, we had therapy dogs out in front of the school who greeted the staff members as they reclaimed the school and entered. The next day, we brought therapy dogs in for our students, and each therapy dog was paired with a counselor and with a student ambassador. I remember one girl who arrived and was obviously shaking and scared as she entered the building. And she was standing in the entrance with her parents and just sort of taking in the space. And a dog walked over to her and started nuzzling her hand. And she looked down, looked very surprised, and then dropped to her knees and started petting the dog. And I could see a counselor come over then and speak with her parent and talk with the girl. And then together, they all walked down the hallway that she was nervous to enter.
It was amazing to see how the students reacted to the dogs. You know, we had 41 different dogs there with 35 different handlers. It was very emotional as a handler. It was draining for the dogs at times because students were scared, they were upset, and you know, it was just nice for them to sit with the dogs and pet the dogs.
Barbara Blanchfield is one of the handlers who helped welcome students back. She brought her dog, Wren.
I had one boy just hug my little white poodle for 5 minutes. I mean, he just sat there and hugged the dog. Another girl petted him and said, "It's like touching a cloud." Just to hear all the oohs and ahs and "Can't you come back? Oh, we want to have therapy dog Thursday. Come back every week."
What the dogs do is they open communication. You know, they sit down and they would start talking to the dog, and then they just open up to the counselors and different things like that.
School administrators took a chance on therapy dogs, and it worked.
I think not only did it help the kids heal, but it helped the community heal, because so many of the therapy dog teams that were there were from the community of Murraysville. Some of the teams were teachers, retired nurses. So I think it helped us heal as a community to be able to give to those kids to help them start the healing process.
Our goal with the therapy dogs was to bring comfort, but what it also did was it helped us to rebuild that positive energy in the school. And it was a good social tool as well for students to be able to talk to counselors and talk with other adults who weren't their parents about what they were feeling. And it gave that sense of hope that we were going to be okay.
Therapy dogs are now in action everywhere. They provided comfort following the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013. They consoled mourners in 2012 after the shootings at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut. And in 2005, they brought affection to victims of Hurricane Katrina.
Any breed can be a therapy dog, but not every dog has the temperament for it.
Stay. Right there, good boy.
And that perfect temperament is what Debbie Morgan hopes to cultivate in her dog, Jackson.
He's done well. He's a puppy. He's starting out. You know, we were a little bumpy. We had a lot to learn, but you know, the handler has as much to learn as the dog.
This Shiloh Shepherd has been in basic training since he was a puppy. One of the first hurdles is for Jackson to accept strangers.
They have to like people, so they might need some more training for it.
Here at the Westmoreland County Obedience Training Club in Delmont, PA, dogs can get just that.
Remember, talk to your dogs so they're focused on you. Get their attention.
These dogs are part of a basic obedience training class, which meets here once a week. Karen Schrader is the club's vice president.
Our Basic 2 class focuses on the Canine Good Citizen test and the Therapy Dog Incorporated test. It teaches basic obedience for dogs that are primarily interested in therapy work or took a beginner's class and wanted to do more training with their dog.
In today's class, trainers worked with dogs and their handlers on a number of different exercises.
Put your hand behind your back so that you're not tugging on your dog. They were working on heeling, which is walk on a loose lead. We like them to be by our left side. Sit your dog. They were working on ignoring the other dogs in class, which is a big thing to learn to have, 10 or 12 dogs in a class and not go visit everybody. They worked around the equipment, such as the vacuum cleaner or the walker or the wheelchair.
Come on. Will I sit?
They also had distractions such as the noises that they would make.
He's a good boy.
And in this class, trainers also dedicated part of the session to helping dogs become more comfortable with being petted, an important part of being a therapy dog.
Touch your toe. Oh, good job. Very nice.
They had to allow someone to touch all their parts, their ears, their paws, kind of hug them, because some dogs don't like to be touched. And by practicing it each week, they get more comfortable with that.
All the handlers in this group hope someday their dogs will become therapy dogs. But for this to happen, dogs must perform all tests well.
In training, we use a lot of treats and things. In the testing, you're not allowed to use treats. That's part of the evaluation. That's most of it. The other part of the test that we didn't see today was where they go into a facility with an experienced evaluator and they do a supervised visit.
In fact, the dogs must do 3 visits to make sure they don't exhibit bad behavior once they're out in public.
We really want the dogs to be calm. In a nursing home environment, we don't want the dog to be pawing at the person that they're visiting with. You don't want the dog to jump. You don't want it to bark. Dogs can be very exuberant, and that's one of the fun things about dogs. However, they need to know when and where they can be exuberant.
And you are totally in control of Sophie. Sophie is being very polite. You need to praise her when she does things correctly.
It takes a lot of time and energy and patience to turn an ordinary dog into a therapy dog, but that doesn't seem to bother Debbie or Jackson. She has big dreams, and so far, Jackson is getting good marks.
We've been working really hard. He passed his canine good citizen test when he was a puppy, and at that time he could not take the therapy test because they have to be a year old. So we're at 15 months now, and we're going to take the test and hopefully pass and be on our way to doing therapy work.
And there are a growing number of places where therapy dogs are now regular visitors.
It's very popular. A lot of people get in it because they heard how we helped with the kids at Franklin, or they've experienced it with a family member at a nursing home, or they were in a hospital and experienced it, and they want to give back as well.
And they do give back in so many ways. Here at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, the dogs are an immediate hit.
He's looking at the girl.
There are plenty of smiles and laughter.
Doggy.
And that's great because a hospital can be a scary place for a child.
Hi. Would you like Shiloh to sit on the couch with you?
Shiloh is a collie, one of dozens of therapy dogs that are part of the hospital's Pet Friends program.
Do you have a dog at home? Mm-hmm. What kind of dog do you have?
A golden retriever.
Shiloh is a star in his training course, and it's obvious when he gently mingles with patients like 6-year-old Elise, who is awaiting a heart transplant.
So she's been battling some heart problems for her whole life, and now we're here waiting for a heart. We've been here for 38 days.
It's a long stay, so the therapy dog's visits are welcomed.
She loves the dogs. It's the bright part of her day, which sometimes is hard to get when you're in the hospital for an extended stay.
When they see Shiloh come walking in, they forget everything. They forget why they're here. For just that moment, they are excited. They get to see a dog, and it's magic. It's pure magic.
But there's more than magic behind these dogs. Dr. Sylvia Choi is a pediatrician at Children's.
Dogs and other animals have been used for years to help humans with all kinds of different medical conditions that they may have. They've done a lot of research, especially in the elderly, showing that they decrease people's blood pressure, they can increase longevity, and improve the overall quality of life for many, many patients. So we really believe in the benefits of using pet therapy animals.
And there's even more evidence to show the effectiveness of the dogs. A study conducted at Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston revealed that a 10-minute therapy dog visit can help lower breathing rates, lessen pain severity and anxiety, and reduce feelings of anger, depression, and fatigue. On top of all that, they can also help boost energy levels. No wonder patients miss their pets whenever they go into the hospital. Erica Witherspoon of Stanton Heights certainly does.
When I have to be admitted to the hospital, it's because I'm going through a sickle cell crisis. And what that means is my red blood cells turn into a very hard crescent moon shape. And these hard blood cells get stuck in blood vessels. Blood can't flow. And that causes very severe pain. So the only thing I can do is go to the hospital and get pain meds and fluids until the crisis runs its course.
Hospital stays for Erica can extend from a few days up to more than a week. But no matter the length, she always longs for her dog, Lucky, a Cairn Terrier.
I miss him so much. And my mom always says he'll go in my room and like sniff my stuff or just sit till I come home.
Erica can't bring Lucky with her to the hospital,
Come on, V, let's
but
go.
she can enjoy the therapy dogs that pay daily visits to her room.
Hi, Erica. How are you, sweetheart? Do you want Vito on the bed? Yes. Okay, come on, V. Come on.
I look forward to them every day. They just brighten up my room. Whenever I see them, they treat me like me. You know, dogs don't see the IV poles like humans do. They just see a person.
So it's funny because when the doctors enter the room, we don't usually have patients break out into big, wide grins and have them clap and get excited. But when the pet therapy animal enters the room, that's the reaction that they get.
Lori Baranti is the owner of therapy dog, Dog Tervito, a golden lab. She's been bringing him here for nearly 2 years.
They don't want to talk to a doctor or to a nurse. They want to talk to the dog. There's no judgment there. It's just compassion.
Compassion that extends both ways.
Oh, it's all enjoyment. I wanted a therapy dog that I could go to the hospital with because it's really something that I need to do for me. It helps me with whatever problems I may have. My problems become minuscule when I'm in the hospital here.
Pet therapy for the body.
Twinkle, twinkle all the night.
Pet therapy for the mind.
The rain has ended.
The very presence of these dogs at Menadeo Elementary School in Squirrel Hill creates an atmosphere so relaxed that children feel at ease practicing their reading in front of them.
Then his mother brought chocolate cake and chocolate ice cream.
This reading program is called Tail Waggin' Tutors, and it's sponsored by Therapy Dogs International. That's another organization dedicated to regulating, testing, and registering therapy dogs. With more than 24,000 dogs and 22,000 handlers, it's one of the largest volunteer groups of its kind. Linda Brendlinger is the founder and director of the chapter based here in Pittsburgh.
Tail Wagging Tutors. The goal is to provide a non-judgmental audience, and that would be the dog, so that the child who is perhaps a reluctant reader or someone who very much needs extra practice reading can read to a dog who is not going to make fun of them.
My word is out. Can you help me reach it?
We're often asked, is the dog really listening? Because some dogs get so calm that they tend to over-relax, we might say. And some dogs are more interested in sniffing the child's hair or whatever, which makes the kids giggle, and that also is very much a positive experience for everyone.
Nice job. Did you finish that book, Zoe?
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to read next?
Julie Love is a special education teacher at Menadeo. She helped set up the program.
We have students from kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade. A few of the students have special needs. A few of the students have reading difficulties. We have students in there that need to build self-confidence and are shy and afraid to read aloud for fear of making a mistake. So the program really meets so many different students' needs. The students really enjoy the dogs. I think it helps them have something to look forward to every Monday morning. They're excited to get their turn to read with the dogs.
They make me feel like I'm not alone, like somebody's there and are caring for me while I'm reading, and they're there to support other people too.
It makes me read better, and sometimes when I read to the dogs, people that own the dogs, they tell me that I read like a 6th grader.
It's been extremely successful. We are able to actually measure that.
The children who've read to therapy dogs have shown improvement in their reading scores, but that's not all.
And the students overall are building confidence, and it's showing in the classrooms, and they're also improving on their oral reading fluency. And I have teachers stopping me all the time letting me know that so-and-so has gained this many words per minute when they read a passage.
Of course, it takes more than therapy dogs to help kids to improve their reading. Still, handlers like Bill Hawes would like to see this program extended to other schools.
I've been to a number of schools freelancing, just Rudy and I. They don't understand how positive the relationship with a dog and a student can be in a reading program. Total awareness of what these dogs do is not there. And if it were, it would help the kids, I'm sure of that.
Part 3 is preterite, what you did yesterday, right? So if we
It's an important week at St. Vincent College in Latrobe.
Okay. Número 1. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Students are taking final exams.
Encantada. Encantada.
And the atmosphere in the Spanish 2 class is understandably tense.
¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños?
Because this test is an important part of their final grade.
¿Qué te gusta leer?
But just across campus near the Student Union building, a respite of sorts for stressed out students headed to their next exam.
So cute. Hi. Is it Bichon? It's a Bichon. That's what I have. This is a big one.
This is the 3rd year therapy dogs were brought here to campus, and it's a partnership that has worked well for the St. Vincent College Wellness Center. Gretchen Flock is the director of the center, which provides health and counseling services.
We see actually a lot of anxiety, sometimes panic attacks when it gets more severe about how am I going to perform on these tests.
So the students try a new approach, getting cozy with dogs while cramming for finals.
I think just by lowering their anxiety and stress level, they perform better on tests. They have a better day. I think it brings up grades. Don't have a study to prove that, but I think it does.
She may be right. Amy Mead is a counselor.
Research has shown us when they pet animals, endorphins are released. That's one of the key chemicals for the relaxation response. And so we know that they're relaxing in that moment in time. Most people who are under stress spend most of their time either worrying about or replaying something that's already happened or worrying about something that hasn't happened yet, like an upcoming final. And when they are petting these dogs, in this moment in time, they are completely present.
Jacob Lynch is a freshman criminology major here at St. Vincent.
There are other ways to get rid of stress, working out, eating right, getting more sleep. But I think being around animals is one of the better ways to connect with yourself and other people because they're such an important aspect of creation.
Father John Paul Heiser is studying at the college's seminary. He's a Benedictine monk who's about to be ordained a priest.
Finals are stressful for me, even as a seminarian, because we have other activities to go to besides finals. I think the therapy dogs are a wonderful idea and helps me forget about what was stressing me out a little earlier, which was a final I just finished.
And if there's any doubt of the success of the therapy dogs here, well, the numbers say it all.
I believe the first year there were maybe 6 dogs. We stayed for approximately 3 hours, and during that time there were over 400 students who took advantage of coming to pet a dog and just to unwind a little bit. They were absolutely delighted, the staff of the Wellness Center, that so many people on the campus did indeed take advantage of the dogs. And of course the dogs loved it.
Josie, you ready to visit?
Josie is a 2-year-old Rottweiler.
Oh, good girl. Josie, ready? Let's get dressed.
Her handler, Holly Russell, dresses Josie up in girls' clothing for a reason.
Miss Josie is a little bit of a different type of Rottweiler because she wears tutus and tiaras and she has a poodle skirt. Okay. But I dress her up so that she's less intimidating to people. It's hard to be intimidated by a Rottweiler with a pink tutu.
Today, Josie is joining other therapy dogs who will spend time with residents at Clarebridge, an Alzheimer's and dementia care facility in Export, PA.
Josie came to see you. Okay, Josie, there you go. Good girl, sit down.
How are you?
People will say, oh, what kind of dog is she? And I'll say, well, she's a Rottweiler. And they're like, no, she isn't. I'm like, she actually is. So they're impressed. I thought they were mean. I'm like, no. She's very affectionate. She loves to give kisses. Give her a kiss.
Affectionate, just like all the dogs that come here to visit. Dogs like Bailey, a golden retriever.
He likes to be petted. See how soft he is? He likes that.
And Stone, a Cairn Terrier.
It's all yours.
Residents here do miss their dogs, but for many, these therapy dogs make good substitutes.
Hi there. Hi. Would you like to see Mr. Bixby this morning?
But unlike other senior facilities, this one allows pets, so some residents get a double dose of affection.
I already have Dusty here. This is the only place that let me have Dusty. But seeing the other ones, it's just so nice. And they're friendly. And we all need companions. Hi, baby. Hi.
People living here face special challenges, above all, withdrawing into themselves.
A lot of time their speech goes. They have trouble expressing their feelings, and it is very frustrating for them. But when the dogs come in, they just light up. It gives them something to cuddle, something that they probably had as a child. Oh, when I was little, I had this dog, you know, and it helps us get to know them a little bit better as they were before coming in here.
Every time the dogs visit Clare Bridge, the whole atmosphere changes. Residents brighten, the staff does too. And not just here, wherever they go, therapy dogs bring positive change, comfort, friendship, and healing. That's a lot to expect from anyone, but it comes so easily from these creatures.
And when the dogs come in, I feel like Erica, myself. I don't feel like Erica, the patient.
Creatures that are instinctively perceptive.
They provided a level of comfort that I don't know that any human could provide.
These dogs seem to know what they're here for. And they react to the kids, they react to the patients, they react to the older folks at the old age homes.
Experts are just beginning to understand the impact of therapy dogs in medicine, science, and education. But it's already clear to the people they've touched, these dogs can be much more than man's best friend.
I don't think people use dogs to their fullest potential. There's so many different things that we can do with these dogs. You know, we're willing to give it a try. People just have to give us that opportunity.
Spirit, come here. We cannot fulfill the requests that we get as a chapter. And I want there to be more therapy dogs. And I want to always make sure I have a therapy dog to take out. So I've got one in training right now. Sit. Good. Down. Nice. Good. Down.